Hello everybody, it's the 7th of August 2023. We are live with Magic Monday Live. And for some reason, I don't know why this is happening, but my voice and my video seem to have gone slightly out. And I don't know what it looks like for you. Hopefully it's okay, but for me it's a little bit disconcerting because I'm watching me talking a little bit behind when I'm actually doing my live stuff. So if I do a wave like that, like half a second later I'll wave again on the screen. Don't look at the screen, Michael. Maybe that's the best thing to do. So it's one of those days when I've got a bit of stuff to talk about, but mainly I want to prove to you that I can talk about anything at all. So here's the challenge. Here's what I would like you to do in the chat. Just do it in the chat, in the comments. Just say hello, but then give me a subject to talk about for 60 seconds. I'll set my timer up now, and I promise you I can talk about any subject for 60 seconds. I'm not going to do it how they do it in just a minute without any kind of deviation or anything like that, or pauses, or repetition. But I reckon 60 seconds on any subject you like. Stick it in the chat, test me out, and let's see what we can do. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Yeah, I'm ready for it. Okay, 2 seconds. Here we go. Why didn't that work? Oh, I know why, because I clicked the wrong button.
It's the start of the week. Grab your coffee cups. It's Magic Monday Live.
Okay, so here's the challenge. I will talk about any subject for 60 seconds. You give me the subject, I'm going to talk about it for 60 seconds. Let's see who's here and what we are going to talk about. So first of all, Dean Coulson's here. Dean in the house from West Sleekburn. Nice to see you in the house and not in the sea or in a lake, Dean. And greetings from the Edinburgh Fringe. Tell us a 60-second joke you have never told us before. Right, okay, 60-second joke. So I'm going to start my timer, see if I can do this properly. It might last less than 60 seconds, but I'll give it a go. So I'm going to tell you a true story. So on Saturday, I went to see my mum, and she was having a little chat about various bits and bobs, and she said, so what have you been up to? Where have you been? What have you been doing? So I'm telling her about what we've been doing stuff. And then she said, I had a lovely call from Sarah. So that's our daughter. And she says, yes, Sarah's telling me she's going to a wedding. I said, yeah, it's going to be, it sounds really, really great. Sounds fantastic. And so the person who's getting married, I said, they're actually in a band, Mum. Did you know that? And she goes, yeah, I think so. I said, yeah, they're in a band called the 1975. And she went, oh, I think I've heard of them. And I said, yeah, of course. Well, actually, they... by the way, this has got nothing to do with the joke. This is just the lead up to the joke. And I've already I should have just done the joke because I've done 50 seconds. And I said, you might know that the lead singer is originally from this area, from sort of Stocksfield area. And she went, oh, right. I think I know them. There we are, to my 60 seconds already. I think I know of him. So yeah, he's called Matty Healy. She went, oh, I do. In fact, when I was a member at Stocksfield Golf Club, his dad was selling CDs. He's famous, isn't he, the dad? And I went, yeah, it's Tim Healy. She goes, yeah, that's right, I know him. And he was selling, and it was just his son, just playing guitar and singing. And I bought a CD from him. So it was all kind of a bit handmade and stuff. I was like, Mum, this is brilliant. You've got a CD of Matty Healy, the lead singer with the 1975. Where is it? And she went, just in the bureau over there. So I go into I'm going through all these CDs and I'm looking through and I'm saying, what's it like? And is it this one? She went, no. I mean, it's just very handmade. And I was like, this is brilliant. She says, I think you only did about 100. I'm now getting very excited, thinking this is going to be so rare. This is amazing. This is fabulous. And then she suddenly went, it wasn't Tim Healy. It was Paul Squires, the comedian. was like, what? She goes, yeah, Paul Squires, who obviously nobody's heard of. It was a Northeast comedian. But she said, I did used to enjoy sharing a joke with Paul. And there's one I told him, and I think he put it into his act. And basically, the joke goes like this. There's these people, and it's Sunderland Football Club. And I don't know why it's Sunderland. It would work with any football club. And they're in a box. And in the box next to them, actually, I've just realised I can't tell the joke. Sorry, I've just realised I can't tell the joke. It's one of those ones you get cancelled for telling the joke. It's not racist or anything. It just probably isn't appropriate. Anyway, so there we go. Yes, I remember to be here. Can I talk about... This is going well, isn't it? Can you talk about jellyfish off the Northumberland coast, please? Yes, I can, starting now. So jellyfish are very interesting. Did you know jellyfish are actually on the increase on the Northumberland coast because of the sea temperature? But also, jellyfish are changing and evolving all the time. So as much as they are one of our longest living species, yes, as a species, they are also evolving, and they are evolving into the new environments that we have, and change in sea temperature is making a big difference. Now, sometimes you'll see a jellyfish and it's kind of been swept up onto the beach, and you look at it and you kind of go, ooh, and it's pretty horrible, isn't it? It's pretty gross. And that's because they're not designed to be on a beach. Of course, you know that, Dean. They're designed to be in the water. However, if you should meet a jellyfish in the water, do not be tempted to give it a tickle. Do not be tempted to play with it. This is not a dolphin. It's a jellyfish, and jellyfish can sting. One final thing about jellyfish. Didn't happen off the Northumberland coast. Happened in the Mediterranean. My dad was stung by a baby Portuguese man of war, and he had his whole side was completely numbed. Whereas when he was in the Navy. So there we go. Thank you very much for that. Hello, Michael. Fee from Westerhope. Your favourite biscuit. 60 seconds on my favourite biscuit. Go. Okay, so my favourite biscuit has to be the Hobnob. The Hobnob is brilliant. It's amazing. It's incredible. It's the most... Here's another thing I should remember to do. Talk a little bit slower. I talk very quickly most of the time, and I'm meant to be filling 60 seconds with these things. But yeah, the Hobnob, it's a good all-rounder, isn't it? Like the rich tea, dunk that, and you have that classic thing, you know, the... what's he called? Peter Kay would talk about, you know, dunk me. What was that? That was a Hobnob, wasn't it, that he talked about? Whereas the rich tea can be a little bit like that. Whereas the Hobnob just keeps on going. Now, sometimes people say to me, oh, what about a chocolate coated Hobnob? No, just the plain Hobnobs. Now, I think my record is that I once ate half of a full pack of Hobnobs. I've been to the factory where they're made. Did you know that the most popular biscuit in the world is in fact the rich tea? They make 6 packets a second. You will discover facts like that if you should go on a tour of the McVitie's Biscuit Factory. 60 seconds. Thank you. Right. Dust. Okay. Oh my goodness. These are getting a bit challenging now, aren't they? Right. 60 seconds on dust. So what is dust? Well, dust, a lot of dust is, of course, skin. Ooh. Just think about that a lot of dust is skin, and not just your skin, but also skin of other things as well. So sometimes people, they talk about the fact that, oh, it gets a bit dusty around here. And one of the reasons why it might be getting dusty is it might be skin of things, of animals and stuff like that. I live in a quite an old house, and sometimes I get dust that comes down from my ceiling, and I don't think it's there until you do the classic, you know, that thing where you run your finger along something and you see that little kind of faint line of dust, and it's like, aha, it's time. But I have this thing that I do at the end of every week where I get some furniture polish, and I clean my desk. Steve Kelly also does this. Good to see Steve Kelly back, by the way. He is back doing his super amazing Sunday presentation. He's had a month off using the internet and social media, but now he's back. So yeah, dust, brilliant. Matt's here. Oh, that was the time, by the way. Did you hear it? That's my timer. I am doing this genuinely for 60 seconds. Right, next thing is earthworms. Good old earthworms. See, one of the things about earthworms, is it true that if you chop them in half, they will grow a new head, and will they become 2 earthworms? No is the answer. Of course not. That was just a ridiculous thing that we were led to believe when we were children. But now, of course, we realise you chop an earthworm in half and it's not going to be alive anymore. Now, earthworms, of course, are brilliant because one of the things that they do is they filter, I think, is that the right term? Filter the soil. They filter the soil and they will, keep your garden nice and healthy. So there's that wonderful balance between having great earthworms in your garden, but at the same time, what you don't want is you don't want to have a whole bunch of worms that are what's the thing? There's another type of worm, isn't there? There's the worm that eats your roots and stuff like that, but they're not earthworms. They're bad worms. Earthworms are great, and birds like them as well. Have you ever seen that thing where, it's my 60 seconds up? Not bad for earthworms. Carpet. I don't know if this is the same person. I don't know if this is the same person, but because I can't see it, it just comes up as Facebook user. If it is, hang on, let's just have a little look. Let's just do them anyway. What the heck? We're on for this. Carpet tiles. Right. Start. Carpet tiles are a brilliant invention. Of course they are, because you can carpet an office. Usually that's what they do with carpet tiles, isn't it? You would do an office, and then if one gets damaged, you can just replace it. No, you can't, because you put a new carpet tile in with the old ones that are there, and it looks really obvious. Now, I saw somebody do that because we used to have an office that had carpet tiles, and something, I can't remember what it was. I think from memory it was toner. Yes, it was toner from the photocopier. And somebody went to take out the old one, and they did that thing, and all the old toner booled out all over onto the floor. And they were like, "Oh, don't worry, we'll just put some new carpet tiles down." So they went, and we had them in our storeroom. We had them because there was a pile, because we knew this would happen at some point. And they went and they put some new carpet tiles in. Well, that's not how it works. You see, I used to be a roofer, and I remember you would never replace slates with brand new ones. You always want to have, second-hand slates, and I did the same thing with the carpet tiles. I put the new ones out at the side where nobody could see. I'm actually under somebody's desk or something like that, and then I took the old ones and put them in front of the photocopier, so you couldn't tell that had the damage. Right, good. Right, here we go. Next one, and we are off. It's cinnamon. All right, okay. By the way, you're only allowed one. If you're the person if it is one person putting in the same thing over, I should have said at the beginning, the rules are you choose one subject, and that's all I'm going to do. So no more cheating, or if you are doing multiples. Right, anyway, cinnamon. Have you ever done the thing where you put a spoonful of cinnamon in your mouth? Wow, that is bad. Don't try that. People do that at parties sometimes. Everyone gets a bit drunk or whatever, and they do the cinnamon challenge, and they get a teaspoon and they fill it with cinnamon. You have to put it in your mouth. I'm not sure if you have to even swallow it or just put it in your mouth or whatever, but it's fatal. I've seen people in a very bad way by doing that. Now, a little bit of cinnamon is great, and what a fantastic flavouring, colouring. It's great for all sorts of things. I recently made paella. And I think that as well as having the saffron, we also put in a bit of cinnamon. I think we might have just a little tiny bit of it. It was great. Right, next one is, can you talk about the World Cup bronze medal netball match, who the teams were, the score, and the injuries, etc.? Yes, of course I can do that. This must be Angie who's asking me to do that. So, I know. So, first of all, the World Cup for netball has been huge this year. It's been much bigger than anybody has seen in the past. It's brilliant, and it's getting some really good coverage now. Now, in the past, netball didn't get that much coverage, but now it is starting to more and more, which is great. So obviously the bronze medal football match was great, and the teams were who the teams were. The teams were brilliant. That's what the teams were, and the score was significant, and the injuries were nasty. You wouldn't want to get a nasty injury during a netball match, would you? No, because that can hurt. Like a fling like that. That's one of the classic ones. A backhand in the face. When with your own teammate, that can happen. Jumping up too high, landing on your ankle in a funny way. But anyway, the question is, who were the teams, the score, and the inch? Oh man, just just out of time there. Right, never mind. Let's have a little look. What's the next one? Hi, here's Chinna in the house. Hi, Sue from Taunton's here. Talk about adoption. Yes, I can do that. Okay, here we go. 60 seconds on adoption. So, adoption is one of those things that, again, has evolved and changed. Now, obviously, not the process of the process of adoption's changed as well. Of course, it has. But I think the way that we talk about adoption has changed a lot, and a lot of it is down to people like Sarah who have been promoting positive talk about adoption. And I remember when I was young, there was it was one of those things people used to talk about a little bit. Do you know they're adopted? It was a bit like, do you know they're adopted? And I had one of my best friends at school, Jonathan Severs. He was adopted. Andy's sister, Andy's brother, Andrew, and Catherine. They were all adopted, and it was one of those things that sometimes I think we kind of knew, but it was never really something you would talk about. You wouldn't bring it up. But obviously times have changed now, and adoptive families, the people who are adopting, are much more. Oh, God, I could talk a lot longer about that one. Right, okay. Well, Sarah, let's talk about that one another day. We should have a little interview and a chat with you more about that one. Right, the next one is Ian Pilbeam at the Fringe. Right, okay, that's good. Thank you. Talk about Mongolian throat singing. Oh, God grief. Mongolian throat singing. So, Mongolian throat singing is, it's challenging. There's only certain people who can do it because it doesn't just come from there. It comes from deep, deep in the throat. So it's much more of a guttural sort of thing than an up there sort of thing. So normally with our throat singing, we would be thinking of something like this. That's not throat singing. Throat singing kind of comes from there, which is much more challenging to do. And I think one of the things that you have to do in order to do Mongolian throat singing properly, by the way, if you're just tuning in, I'm talking about any subject at all for 60 seconds, is to be relaxed. And it creates a very relaxed state. So it's almost like a meditative state that people get into when they do Mongolian throat singing. And I would challenge actually anybody to have a go at it. Why not? Have a little look on YouTube, get yourself some Mongolian throat singing and give it a test. And oh my goodness, my time's up again. Right. Here we go. I'm Anna in Stockton. Go on then. Talk about piloting a dirigible. Piloting a dirigible. Anna, do you know what? I'm up for the challenge. Wow. Okay, so piloting a dirigible. Dirigible? Well, first of all, you have to know how to say the word. So I'm thinking it's dirigible. Dirigible. If somebody had said to me, Michael, would you like a little glass of dirigible? I would think I was in some Greek island and was going to have one of the local things that they would be giving you. Yeah, I'll have a go. What's the worst that can happen? Well, the worst that can happen is that it's not a drink. It's actually something that you fly, or maybe sometimes piloting is also across the water. So that can be sometimes the case where people would do stuff across the water. But I'm thinking you're going to fly one in the sky. And Anna, I'm guessing you've done this. That would be my thinking, that you are dirigible. Yeah, dirigible flyer, pilot. That's what you are already. And I'm going to look this up and find out a bit more about it. But that's my 60 seconds. Right, okay. There we are. Well done. Thank you very much from Dean. Good afternoon from a sunny Enfield. Hello. I hope that's Nick. He's got a new book coming out. What's StreamYard doing today? No idea. All right. Okay. Were the Lionesses lucky enough? I can talk about this one for longer than 60 seconds, but 60 seconds is my challenge. Right. The answer is lucky. We were lucky today, or the Lionesses were lucky today. First of all, we didn't play it very well at all. Now, I love watching the Lionesses play because the passion and the enthusiasm is great, but today it just was not there. We felt a little bit outclassed. In fact, the first, in the normal time, we were definitely outclassed. And then the big thing that happened, James goes and stamps on a player. If you haven't seen this, it is Horrendous. She stamped on a player. What a stupid thing to do. She is out of the World Cup now. Now imagine England get through to the final and she can't play because she's been banned from playing in the match, and it's because she did a stupid thing, and rather than just getting up after a tackle, she just did a little stamp on the player. What an idiot. So today we were both lucky and fortunate today. Fiona had 3. Well, that's a bit naughty. Sorry, that was me. Got a bit carried away with suggesting words. Well done. Right, thank you. There's not a cinnamon challenge. Says who? How do you know there's not a cinnamon challenge? Moose! Right, okay. So let's do moose. And then I'm going to have to crack on. I've got work to do today. 60 seconds on moose. So, a moose. The moose is brilliant, isn't it? Isn't the moose just the most fantastic looking creature? And it's that thing with the huge antlers, which are, of course, absolutely brilliant, but also its face. It's that kind of, it's me doing a moose face for you. But let me tell you something else about moose. Twice I've mentioned her in this. I don't know if she's watching today. Hopefully not, because she should be at work. Our daughter Sarah, her boyfriend, his mum, her name is Moose. It's not a real name, but everybody in the family calls her Moose. To the point where we sometimes forget what her real name is. And at Christmas, her and her partner came to see us, and we sat and we had a bottle of champagne and had a lovely time. But you know what? Everyone just calls her Moose. And isn't that an interesting thing? Would you want that to be your name of love from your family? She loves it, so it's all good. There we are. Time up on mooses. How many have we got? Right, where's a wow? Well done. There's more from 5 saying something's interesting. Great subjects, thank you. Now StreamYard is behaving. Yes, it is. Please talk about moose. I've done the moose. There we are. Moose, best animal ever. Just the boys have antlers. Well, there you go. See, that's the thing. And I bet they love throwing them around a little bit, just like boys do with those things. Well, that was fun. So thanks very much, everybody, for your time today. I did over 17 minutes. I normally do about 17, but I did over. Now, speaking of 17, a couple of 17 things to tell you about very, very quickly. First of all, the new edition of the book 17 is published on the 17th of September. However, if you would like to get a special limited edition 17 blue, that's a blue cover, numbered from 1 to I can't remember how many we're ordering, but anyway, numbered, signed, then you will and blue, a blue cover, then you need to order in the next few days, because we are going to print with them very, very soon. And the amazing thing is that already, there we go, boom, she's on it like Sonic. That's where you order your book, right? 17, the book, blue. Get it ordered as soon as you can. And there, I've just got the final proofs through. We now have 175 pages in the new book. In the old one, there was 94, right? The old one had 94. You can't see that one. I'm even showing you for. The new one has 175 pages. There's 6 new chapters. There's a lot of extra words. There's a lot more detail. It really is brilliant, brilliant value, and it's fabulous. So yeah, so please get it done, get it ordered, and yeah. Sorry, I did that thing. Never ever do the thing where you start to read somebody's comment at the same time. Just bring the comment up. Thanks for talking about moose. They are way taller than horses. Eat salty weeds from the deep parts of ponds and lakes. See, this is what I love. Moose facts. I reconnected to StreamYard this morning. Didn't actually work this time. No. Oh man, StreamYard is just such a funny animal with that stuff. Like a moose. Anyway, that's me done. Thanks very much, everybody. Have a brilliant, brilliant day. Bye. I'll see you next week.